Let's look at a real-world use case for why we want to add a bypass permission when we're migrating data. So in this scenario, you'll see here that on this person account page, we have a status field and we have a client segment. There's a validation rule that says if the status is active, you have to have a client segment selected. If I try to clear this out, or if I was trying to load a brand new record with the status of active and no client segment selected, I'd get hit by the validation rule. Now, the client knows that not all of their data has an assigned client segment when it's in the status of active, and they're okay with that. They say they'll clean it up later. They just want me to make sure that the data gets in. So what I need to be able to do is bypass this validation rule. So what I'm going to do is head over to Setup, search for Custom Permissions, and Create New. I will call it Bypass Validation Rules and hit Save. Now I need to add it to myself via a permission set. So I'll click on Permission Sets, Create New. I'm going to give it the same name, and I don't need to assign a license. And once I've created that permission set, I now need to add the custom permission. So under Custom Permissions, I will click Edit, and I will add that Bypass Validation Rules permission. Now that I've done this, I have to remember to add this permission set to my user record. So I'll go to Manage Assignments, Add Assignment, and then I'll find myself, assign it. Now I'm good to go. Now, if only it were that easy and we were all done, but we in fact are not. So what we're going to do now is go into the validation rules that we want to bypass. So on our account object, here's the validation rule that we were testing earlier, and we need to add another line to this. So within here, I'm going to pop this down and I'm going to add the statement of the running user. If the running user does not have this permission, and I had the $, the word permission, dot, and then the custom permission that we created has the underscores in it. And in order to find that, you can always go back to your custom permissions and see here that this is the API name of my permission. I'm going to add a comma after the second line, and then I will wrap the and statement so that it's complete and check my syntax. It looks good, so I'll click Save. And then just as a quick example, let me refresh my screen here. If I were to try to edit this record because I'm the running user and I have that permission assigned to me to be able to bypass this validation, I can now save this record with the status of active and no client segment because I have that permission. Now all I have to do is go and add that to the applicable validation rules before I migrate the data.